Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on The Casey Malone Show.
Today I prepare shrimp cocktail with a twist. It's pickled. We visit Tombs Bike Shop, over 100 years in business. But first, a visit with memories of Christmas past. Well, we're here at the Arms Family Museum for memories of Christmas past. Now, we've been here before, but each and every year, the designs change. Anthony Warelio works building and grounds for the Mahoning Valley Historical Society, but you are a self-proclaimed Christmas nut, huh?
Christmas nut. They
You
call
are
me
all
the Christmas
about
architect. Yes.
So you help design these displays each and every year.
Yes, for the last 8 years. This is the 8th year. Every year it's been different. So,
And you're a collector, and you're also kind of an authority on the periods for Christmas decor.
correct, yes.
And it's the 140th anniversary of the Mahoning Valley Historical Society. So in honor of that,
We decorated the house in Olive's honor as she left the house to the Historical Society for that purpose, to house the Mahoning Valley History, which is located on the second floor. But the first floor remains the same as Olive left it in 1960.
you know, we're starting in the entranceway.
Correct. This is the reception area here, and behind us is the Ingle Nook. This is where Mrs. Arms would have greeted her guest. She would have, her butler would have answered the door, seated the guest here. Around the seating area, they may have left their calling card there, and then Olive would have come down from the second floor, greeted her guests, and then they would have went into the dining room. On display here on one of Mrs. Arms' buffet is some of the original Christmas cards that Hearn Wilford received during their period at the Arms home here. Also on the table here is a very rare German candy container. It's 28 inches tall. There's probably maybe a couple dozen that exist.
So we're in the library now, and I see that a lot of the decorations really are more natural.
They are. It's period to when Mrs. Arms lived here, and the style of the house, which is arts and crafts, and it's a more natural look and handmade items. So we have gilded magnolia leaves on the mantle, beautiful swag there.
I wanted to learn more about these feather trees because they are very valuable and I mean very collectible, aren't they?
They are. The feather trees were made to actually preserve the live trees back in the 1900s. So the Germans came up with a way to dye feathers, actual feathers, green, red, blue, white, and they wrap them around a piece of wire. And as you wrap it around, it's glued to the wire, and then as the feather is wrapped, it kind of opens up to represent the needles of a pine tree.
Now the solarium was not enclosed when the Arms lived here.
Correct.
This was an open porch?
This was an open porch originally when the house was built, and then later on Mrs. Arms enclosed it and built a back porch onto the house. So you know, in this room this year, we're featuring Mrs. Arms' original artwork. She was an artist herself. She studied in New York. There's watercolors, pencil drawings, and so forth throughout the room, along with Wilford's model ship collection.
Well, of course, Olive and Wilford needed a place to sit.
Of course,
in this cramped house. So this was the sitting room.
This is the sitting room.
And this is probably the most comfortable room in the house, don't you think?
It is. It is. It is for a few reasons. It's very cozy in here, and also it overlooks Mrs. Arms' gardens that she would have had here at one time.
And I love the carving in the hearthstone. Around these hearthstones, speak no evil word of anyone.
Yes, that Mrs. Arms had included that in the hearthstone there.
Words to live by.
Words to live by.
What I really like about the arts and crafts style of homes is that even though they're big and sprawling, there's still a real intimacy about them. You know, this is the dining room and this is a very large room, but it doesn't feel that because the ceilings are lower. Now this is much more colorful with the blues and the silvers, the peacocks. And what year are we looking at here in decor style?
Well, again, it's probably one of the earliest eras in the 1910, 1920 era. We're featuring Mrs. Arms china and sterling. She has some wonderful sterling pieces. We have displayed on the table place settings with her fine china, glassware.
Now, who polishes the silver?
I did it this year, and it was quite a workout.
I bet it is. Well, the heart of the house would be the butler's pantry, right? Because this is where all the serving and preparation for entertaining goes.
Behind us is the butler's pantry, or the cook's pantry, I'm sorry. And this window would have opened up and they would have carried, handed the food through. It may have sat here to be then brought into the dining room.
And after every tour, the best thing to do is hit the gift shop. I don't care where you go, what museum, it's always fun. But this one, you really have a lot of true vintage ornaments in that for sale.
We do.
Look at
we
this
have
little elf on the shelf.
the popular elf on the shelf. These are all vintage that are really offered at a great price.
And they all benefit, and they all
benefit the Historical Society. We want people to, go home and feel good and
take a memory
home.
From
This
the
is
past.
truly a gem for Youngstown. Please come out and support it. The home is wonderful. The decorations are wonderful, and it really will warm your heart. It'll make your holiday, I guarantee it.
We'll be right back with more local flavor. Well, this is for you, Phil. Happy anniversary!
Cheers.
4 years at the tree. So what have we learned?
It's been a great journey. What we have learned is that people want to come to celebrate here at Magic Tree. We have these beautiful signs for every occasion, and for my wife and I over the last 4 years, to be able to do what we've done for the community with fundraisers has been very dear to our heart.
And what do you see coming up in the future?
Well, we have a huge building. We have incredibly good craft beer, incredibly good food we make from scratch, and our wine on tap. We have something for everybody here at Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. I want everyone to come down and let us create a memory for them.
That's right, and I love that they have the trays to go. Party, pick it up, take it to the office, take it at home, and you can party at the tree no matter
That's
where
right.
you are. Congratulations. Good
Cheers.
job.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
every year. At the same time, the air gets a little colder, the faces get a little warmer, and family gets a little closer. Everything seems to slow down, and what matters most is suddenly much easier to see. Pioneer Trails Tree Farm, providing farm fresh Christmas trees for over 30 years. Continue your family tradition at Pioneer Trails Tree Farm.
4 for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. Nothing makes me happier than when I'm out and about and people tell me how much they've enjoyed making the recipes that I suggest here on my television show. And today is no exception. You are going to love my pickled shrimp with coconut yogurt dip. It's a great twist on shrimp cocktail. You marinate the shrimp overnight in the pickling liquid, and then you serve it with the coconut yogurt dip that also has cilantro and spinach in it. So let's get going and make my pickled shrimp. Ingredients you'll need for the pickled shrimp: 3 cups water, 1 cup rice vinegar, 1 cup white wine vinegar, 3 garlic cloves chopped, 3 jalapeno peppers deseeded and thinly sliced, 2 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon crushed red pepper, 2 teaspoons kosher salt, 1 teaspoon whole black peppercorns, 1 teaspoon pickling spice, and 2 pounds large shrimp, uncooked, shelled and deveined with tails on. For the coconut yogurt dip, you'll need 1 cup coconut milk, 2 cups spinach chopped, 1 cup Greek yogurt, 1/3 cup chopped cilantro leaves, juice from 1/2 lime, and 1/2 teaspoon salt. For the pickled shrimp, I've combined all the ingredients in this pot except for the shrimp, and I will bring this to a boil, and we'll wait till it's boiling to add the shrimp. Our pickling liquid is at a full rolling boil, so now we're going to add the uncooked shrimp, and we're only going to stir it for 1 minute and combine this thoroughly before we remove it from the heat. We've removed the shrimp and the pickling liquid from the heat, and now we'll put it in a bowl. Oops, there we go. Get all those good flavorings in there. Bring it to room temperature before covering and put in the refrigerator to marinate for a minimum of 8 hours. Now we'll make the coconut yogurt dipping sauce. We'll start with 1 cup of coconut milk over high heat, and we'll bring it to a boil and allow it to reduce by half until we add our spinach to wilt. The coconut milk is boiling and it's been reduced to about 1/2 cup. Now we'll add the 2 cups of chopped spinach, and we'll just stir this for a minute or so until it's wilted, and then we'll remove it from the heat. I've removed the coconut milk and wilted spinach from the heat, and now I'll add it to a bowl, and we'll start assembling our coconut yogurt dip. Now that the coconut milk and the spinach has cooled down a bit, we'll now add 1 cup or 1 full carton of Greek yogurt. That'll help thicken it up a bit. If you don't like the coconut milk, you can also substitute a heavy whipping cream. We'll also add fresh cilantro leaves and the juice of 1/2 lime. Bring that up to room temperature so it's nice and juicy and you can extract a lot. And then about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then we'll just mix this all together. This is such a fresh dip for the shrimp. And then we'll just cover this and put it in the fridge and cool it down a bit before we have our pickled shrimp appetizer. So what could be easier? After 8 hours or so, use a slotted spoon, remove the shrimp, make sure you get the pickled jalapenos because those got a nice punch. And then you've allowed this wonderful spinach coconut milk dip to thicken. And wait until you try this. So different, so flavorful, just a wonderful combination of flavors. I recommend a really nice tangy, dry, citrusy Chardonnay to go with this, like the Hayes Ranch from California. It is just a perfect accompaniment. So easy. Go to my website, get the recipe, CaseyFirstshowdec, and please give me your feedback and let me know how you like it. Cheers. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi everybody, I'm Danny, owner and operator of Cthulhu Prime Meats, a third-generation butcher shop that not only specializes in quality, but also in customer service and doing things in a new technological way. Chris here is our customer service manager. Chris, what do you think that we do differently than any other grocery store?
I think we personally not only offer great product, but we can offer a great customer service experience as well. We try and treat all our customers like they were family and friends, ask how their family's doing just so they can keep in touch, and give them that customer experience that they deserve.
And the nice part is we not only do that inside the store, but also on CthulhuPrimeMeats.com, where you can buy a lot of our products that we carry here, whether it be grass-fed beef, organic chicken, some of our specialty burgers and bacon. Those are wonderful, and we're going to provide that same customer experience online as we do in store.
Come see us in store or online. Make your next meal one to remember.
All day, you pursue your dreams. And all day, I pursue mine. Knowing we are always there for each other. You are my best friend, my true love. Together, we shine twice as bright. The Ever Us Two-Stone Collection, Forever Mark, a diamond is forever. Available at Kamara Jewelers.
Cerny means trucks. For over 50 years, the Cerny family has been the area's leader for medium and heavy-duty international trucks. New or pre-owned, Cerny means trucks. Easy to find. Cerny Motors is conveniently located at Route 46 and 80. At Cerny Motors, no job is too big or too small. Cerny Motors service will keep you on the road. For service, parts, sales, lease, or rental, Cerny means trucks.
Hurry into a Spitzer location near you to enjoy the lowest prices of the year on some of our best-selling 2016 models. You can save thousands on your new vehicle with the Spitzer Model Year-End Sales Event. Spitzer, saving you more since 1904.
My mom was always in my corner.
Always pushing me to do better.
I couldn't have asked for a better mother.
So when she needed assisted living,
I did my research.
Doctors, nurses,
and others with family and assisted living,
they all said,
Trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
for assisted living with top healthcare experts, a caring staff, and a comfortable home-like setting.
Trust the name you know.
Briarfield.
Trust the name you know. Briarfield. Proudly serving the Valley for over 20 years.
When I fall in love, I get dizzy. I fall out there just to dish a memory to draw me in.
This Christmas season, Midas is hosting the Army of Toys campaign for the Salvation Army. Bring in a new unwrapped toy and you will receive a free oil change voucher from Midas. Let's make sure the kids in our valley have a great holiday season. You have until December 19th to bring in your new unwrapped toy to Midas to receive your oil change voucher. Merry Christmas from Midas.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. The building that houses Toombs Bike and Clock Shop is over 100 years old. It has a long and rich history in downtown Warren. Augie and Linda Toomb are third-generation owners. For quality bicycles and accessories, along with wall, mantle, and grandfather clocks, you need look no further than Toombs. Now remember, it's pronounced Toombs, not Thumbs. Even if you are not a bicycle rider, you have got to visit Tombs right here in downtown Warren. I love this place. It's amazing. And it was started by Augie Tombs' grandfather, correct?
Absolutely.
What year was that?
1909. So this will be our 107th year.
I mean, over 100 years, this is an ancient building, and you have just, packed it with bicycles and clocks.
We've got at least 1,500 bikes in stock, and we have about 300 clocks in stock.
Now, it's a really interesting backstory, how you got into the clock business as well as bicycles.
Well, the bicycle business, of course, is a seasonal business. And in the wintertime, I wasn't making any money. So I told my dad about it. He said, I'm not giving you a raise, just figure out something that'll sell in the winter that won't interfere in the summer. And the seasonality of clocks is opposite that of bicycles. So even though they sound like two completely disjointed things to sell side by side, it works for me. A good bicycle, like the brands that we carry, are the best available. A real bicycle is something completely different than the things that I call bicycle-like objects that you find at the mass merchants. They look like a bike, but they're a toy. They're not really a bike.
Okay, this is a beautiful bike right here. I was admiring this.
Well, this is a bike that's a commuter bike. It actually comes with a large front basket. So if somebody wanted to ride a bicycle to work in lieu of driving a car, this has a 8-speed planetary transmission. So all the gears are inside the hub. Mm-hmm. It has puncture-resistant Kevlar belted tires that hold 100 PSI. And it's got a light aluminum frame, a hand-upholstered gel seat. It just is like the perfect bike for the person that wants to commute.
What differentiates a good bike from a bad bike? Like, how is this bike better than some of these mass-produced cheap ones that you can find anywhere?
First of all, the way a bike is made is the essence. The department store bikes, unlike mine, don't have full aluminum frames in most cases, but everything's aluminum. The handlebar stem, the seat post, the crank arms. The rims are not only aluminum, but they're double wall heat treated aluminum, so they're lighter and stiffer than a single wall rim that's not heat treated.
So then they won't rust?
They won't rust.
And they're lighter.
And they're much harder to bend. The wheels are the part of the bike that's closest to the ground, so it's the most vulnerable part for damage. Also, the tires on this are 29 inches. They're not a 26 or a 24, so they roll over the ruts and the chuck holes better than a smaller diameter wheel. And they hold 90 PSI, so it's a tire that hardly deflects with your body weight on it, so it's very easy to roll. The other thing is the fit. The seat mast on this bike comes in 4 different lengths, plus it's available in a ladies step-through frame. My inseam is about 31 inches, so I can ride a bike that has a frame that measures 19 inches from here to here. Casey has about a 30 or 29 or 30 inch inseam, so she would ride the ladies step-through or a 17-inch frame size. And the other thing too, it's a misconception that bike shop bikes are more expensive. This is a bike that we discount 47% off the retail. It's got a $530 retail, and we sell this for $279.95. It's one of the best deals I've ever had.
And you assemble the bikes?
Absolutely. When you buy a bike from me, it doesn't just get handed to you after some kid halfway assembled it. You either Greg or I assemble them and check them and make sure they're perfect before you get them. We grease the cables. We use anti-seize compounding components that might need to be taken apart someday. So you end up with a properly adjusted world-class bike if you buy something here.
Now, Augie, you are so particular about the qualities that your bikes possess before you'll sell them. What requirements do you have of your clocks?
The same thing. All I sell are Howard Miller and Bulova, the 2 nicest brands on the market. Howard Millers are made up in Zeeland, Michigan. They make beautiful stuff, and Bulova is such a pretty brand of clock, and they're so diverse as far as the products in their line.
And
the cuckoo clocks are genuine Black Forest, made in Germany cuckoo clocks.
I mean, because I have not seen one of these. You know, my dad served over there, and we used to have one in our house.
Right.
And you know, I don't even know whatever became of it. But these are made in Germany.
Absolutely. I sell Ramba and Gebrunner Kuhner, which are the two premier brands made in Germany. Clocks add a lot more to a room than just the ability for it to show you what time it is.
Why your interest in clocks and timepieces?
Well, I've been a watch collector most of my life, and clocks and watches are closely associated with one another. When I'd go to a regional or national watch show, there's plenty of clock people there too. And my dad collected clocks, so that's how the interest started. And the other thing is the seasonality of clocks and bikes are opposite one another, so it's the natural thing, at least for me, to sell side by side.
And you've been here for over 100 years, so right. You're not some fly-by-night. You're not going anywhere anytime quickly, are you?
I'm not going anywhere. This is our 107th year in business selling bikes.
Think there'll be 100 more?
Oh, yeah, I don't see why not. We've seen steady growth every year since.
Now, do you have children?
I have a daughter that's a registered nurse.
So she's not going into the bike business?
Probably not, but I have a mechanic that's been with me for 17 years, so he's probably the most likely prospect.
My show is always on. Watch previous segments at CaseyMaloneShow.com. Sponsored by the Ingram Law Office. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.